Hey everybody, and welcome to the Lighthouse Scav run. So I've been doing this now since Lighthouse has been out, and I run this every single time I run a Scav run. So it always depends where you spawn on the map. Always double check to see where you are. We are here at the moment. From here, I always try and get to rogue camp as quickly as possible. But saying that, we still need to get loot along the way. So what I mean by this is, as you can see here through the video, that we are going through the boxes, the spawns where we know just random items are going to be, that we can top up our loot on the way. This scav run can make you anywhere between 300 and 1,000,000 every single time you run this. As I mentioned before, it does depend where you spawn at the beginning of the map, but I always try and get to rogue camp, and that's where the money is made, but we top up our money along the way. These houses can be good or bad, it all depends. We were very lucky here. We do duffel bags all the time. So we got some fuel conditioner there, and we always check the gold spawns and the rare loot spawns like this. We find a Rolex here. But as I say, duffel bags are pretty good at the moment. Again, this all does depend what happens at wipe, and if they change the spawns, if they change the loot. We really don't know what's going to happen yet, but this is the run I still will be doing when the wipe comes in August. Hopefully it won't change too much, but if it does, again, I'll bring out another video and show everyone where I would go. So after we've actually done this house, what we tend to do is go straight towards road camp. We always try and take direct routes. I always stop here, and not stop, I always look to see if I can see the rogues and if they're in position. So there's two gunners, which are basically to the right and to the left. But if they are there, this is what can happen. So because what is happening here, we did get out at the Scav Grotto. But back to the normal footage. When we come to road camp, there's a Scav there. We jump over the wall here. I don't normally go through any of the sides, just so that it's easier to go straight into loot in the boxes. There's lots to loot around this beginning part of road camp. It's not always the most exciting loot, but I always go with a rule of thumb that anything that is 10,000 rubles a slot is kind of what I want to take with me. I try and fill up most slots and then exchange them along the rest of the route. with this loot run, just make sure that you don't have a negative rep, because the rogues will shoot you if they are there. Also as well, always be precarious of the rogues. If you do go up to them, they can shoot you, just because. Also as well, if they have been aggroed before, they will probably attack you. So coming in here is always risky, but if you do get in here, the loot is great. We're very lucky here as well, because we already found a dead scav, a dead rogue. So that was quite lucky. Someone had already killed him and taken some of his loot, but not all of it. So we got to swap out some of our gear for some of the rogues' loot here. So these tents do have a lot of loot in, and these boxes are very rarely looted, so it's always worth checking. Along the sofa here, there's weapon parts. Here is a gold and rare spawns, always worth checking out. Bitcoins, GPUs, gold, skull rings, etc. Always worth having a look. This table, again, doesn't get looted much. We have optics, silencers. In this box here, it's amazing. Another rare loot spawn. Always worth a check. And again, not many people do these boxes as well. And as you can see from these boxes, we do get some nice items from here, which are all worth, over that 10,000 a slot. Another thing we always do toolkits, toolboxes, just because nuts and bolts are worth a lot of money. This is another rare loot spawn here. Coming to another rare loot spawn here as well in this box. Very frustratingly, there is a scav player on the rogue gun just shooting at the moment. But again, normally if it's a rogue and you're already in here, you don't normally get shot. Quite a common spawn here on the table to the left is a repair kit for armor and also guns. So that's always worth looking out for as well. So on this particular scav run, I decided that because there was someone on the roof that was previously shooting me, I decided that after I had done this tent and the last gold spawn, or the last rare spawn, which is here, I decided that it wasn't worth going all the way down my normal route, and I would just get out. This is kind of like a sensible kind of option, just to kind of go, right, let's get out. We've got enough loot already. There's no point in risking it if the scab's doing that. So we end our way up to the stash here. We get the last bit of gear here, and then we do decide to get out. Because I want to show you guys multiple different versions of this. This is another spawn where we spawn at the train station in the warehouse at the back of Lighthouse. So this is basically the same route we would do, but in reverse. Again, it all does depend on if rogues have been shot or not shot or etc. But you can see how much loot. This is a great spawn, by the way, for the military tube. That spawns there quite a lot. But as I say, this is the route where I would take if I spawned this side of the map, and I would run all the way kind of in reverse of what I would do if I was doing it the other way around. This is a nice little stash here in the corner. It's quite a hard one to find, but once you know where it is, you can find it all the time. It's always a good one, I think, to hit, and not a lot of people hit it. I mean, it's not the best in this scav run, but it's still loot. Another gold spawn, rare spawn in this box. Ammo, guns are in that container there. And then we head to in here. Here is is the drug den. There's stims, intelligence. There's loads of things in here. This, in this particular time, had already been hit. Underneath the book, there's some good spawns as well. I always check everywhere in here. Along the tables, in the fridge, in the boxes. There's always random spawns in here that I tend to find. I mean, mainly the ones are on the tables here. On this table here. Underneath this book here is your intelligence. And then obviously more stims along here as well. Nothing this time, but it is a really good spot to go to at the end of your run, or at the beginning in this case. Again, quite random as well. Not many people do this box. And not a lot of people find this stash. Again, it's quite a hard one to find, but once you find it and you just keep doing it, you'll find it quite a lot. Not good this time, but stashes we all know can be amazing. When you're coming up here, we want to just double check that the rogue wasn't on the gun, because he could shoot you if he's been aggroed, but we kind of bypass the whole of this and we just go back to our normal kind of loot run. So the rogues are on top of the roof behind us, but they are shooting either players or scabs that have already kind of shot them. So we're all good to just carry on looting. Again, in this tent, there can be some really good weapon parts. Not today, but it can be. Always remember to do the box. Again, the rogues are shooting. So here we go for the rare spawn. So rare spawn in this one. Sometimes you have to go down. I believe it's the GP coin. Yep. So the good thing about this run, what I would say, is that we filled up. We were lucky we had a pilgrim. So we were very lucky that we had a good sized bag. All of the, well, not all of them, but pretty much most of the rare spawns hadn't been hit. So we got really lucky with the loot. Again, so I filled up my whole bag, and now I'm just swapping out what I think is going to be worth it and not worth it. So again, another amazing rare spawn there. Rogue is shooting again. Players or scavs. And that's it. Like, there's a player scav there, so we know that this is pretty much all looted. So we decide to not do too much of this and get out. We always do the stash at the end, just because if it hasn't been hit, and also as well just to top up your slots if you need to top up. Straight up to the extract, and that is us. You can see we are just shy of 16 million. This is kind of what I wanted to show everyone at the end. I sell most things to traders. I believe I only sell 4 or 3 things on the flea. But it gives you an idea of how much money you can actually make. So we're at 15,900 and something. After this, after we sell everything, and we get all our money back from selling on the flea, as you can see, we are 16,800. So we made over 800,000 just in that one scav run. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed it, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, obviously turn on your notifications, and we'll see you next time for another Escape from Tarkov video.